of stupidity and people that are racist is genuinely astonishing. So with that lady asking the question, it was basically the whole room. And then there was one Hispanic older lady in the corner was just like, no.
Yeah.
Now, I am not much of a fan of the town of Wilson, solely because the level of swallowing it takes to say in the accent of someone in Wilson reminds me that sometimes the country accent can go a bit too far. Wilson!
Country boy, I love you.
It's like that Tom Hanks movie where he was trapped on an island and then became friends with a fucking Wilson brand volleyball. But I think Wilson has for sure landed itself in a bit of infamy, as recently there was Juneteenth. Now, Trump has made some absolutely stupid statements regarding the holiday, which, if you are Republican, he supported making it a federal holiday, by the way. Can't explain that switch up without basically saying it's racism, even if you had a PhD, and most of y'all have just an HVAC business. So I know you can't figure that situation out at all.
You are made of stupid.
But Juneteenth just going to give you the Google AI review definition to remind those who don't know what it is how easy it is to find out what it is. Seriously, Google exists.
Go look up the history. Shit, don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit. See what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Use it before you say something stupid. Juneteenth, officially known as Juneteenth National Independence Day, is a federal holiday in the United States, commemorating the end of slavery. It is celebrated annually on June 19th, marking the day in 1865 when Union troops led by Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, to enforce the Emancipation Proclamation and ensure that all enslaved African Americans were freed. This came more than 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863. Although the Emancipation Proclamation declared freedom for enslaved people in Confederate states, its enforcement was delayed in many areas, particularly in Texas, where Union forces had limited presence during the Civil War. As a result, many enslaved individuals in Texas remained unaware of their freedom until Granger's arrival. Juneteenth thus represents the moment when the last enslaved people in the United States were officially liberated. The holiday has deep cultural and historical significance for African Americans, often referred to as the longest running African American holiday. It is considered America's second Independence Day and serves as a time for celebration, education, and reflection on the African American experience. Alright, there you go. Now that you got that, basically the last slaves without knowledge of emancipation in the South were freed. In the South, during the times of the Civil War and its Reconstruction era, finally they learned what was being done to them was illegal. It finally became a holiday under Sleepy Joe in 2021, which, think about it like this if you are a racist white person, okay? Imagine we just spoke about July 4th, but we never actually celebrated July 4th.
All across America, the song of freedom rings, a song that's growing stronger every day.
Are you sure about that?
Same thing. And in 2021, it didn't become just any holiday. It became the holy grail of holidays here in America, a federal holiday. Even the mailman doesn't have to move on Juneteenth.
Hey, it's the mailman!
Hey, fellas!
Isn't it Sunday?
Banks abide heavily by federal holidays, I assume because of their connection to many things which are federally run and operated, like the FTC, SEC, Treasury, so forth and so on, likely having diminished staff roles during Juneteenth because, again, it's a federal fucking holiday. Now, the holiday is new to the entire country as far as it being established in its new position. And hell, it is even new to some black communities because that's how much our history has been kind of kept from us thanks to extreme whitewashing.
I don't like the look of it. Oompa, loompa, doompa-dee-da.
I did not learn much about black soldiers fighting in the Revolutionary War on the side of America until like, I don't know, 10th grade. And by then, I had probably had 6 history classes that covered the Revolution. After all, most Americans truly only remember one holiday, and it's the one when we are all fine with the magical fat white guy sneaking into our homes while we sleep, who has a sneaking level of enjoyment in pleasing children.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas!
Jingle bells, all the way.
Santa will be here real soon, kids, real soon.
Hold up!
And we just all wave it away because the thinking is it's only one night and then he disappears back up north. But there is a way to be curious about what the holiday is and what it means. And the workers at this Synergy Auto Care or Auto Body, whatever the fuck it's called, likely mixing a lack of social education and just general overall awareness of their surroundings, decided to be curious and confused about the holiday in the worst way possible. And in front of someone who they shouldn't have approached it that way in front of. And it isn't even that part which is the worst. So let's get into it. But before we do, subscribe, or I will guarantee that you won't make it to the next Juneteenth. I will eliminate you. I will eliminate you.
Yeah, right.
Why are the banks closed tomorrow? Juneteenth. New holiday they did 2 years ago. Okie dokie then.
I know, right? My fucking truck. Pull my truck around. Please. Pull my truck around. And give me my keys to my truck. I don't want this done. Please go get my truck. Thank you. Is it this one right here? Yeah, no, it's a Berkeley Tahoe. What's that?
We said Juneteenth was the holiday tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not. Like,
We got mad about it.
here, he was like,
Yeah, that's why the banks were closed for the first Juneteenth.
I don't even know what is Juneteenth.
Exactly, nobody really knows, but I think it's something to do with reparations or something.
Yeah.
I knew immediately when that guy said okie dokie. We were in for it. We were in for a very disgusting treat. But mind you, that they did that with this black woman like 5 feet at most away from them. 5 feet. And the crazy part is, even after she left with as much grace as was possible, someone proceeded to ask the question again. And one thing I think people need to realize is it wasn't just the staff. It was the old white guy who asked what it was and then said the okie dokie. And then it was the lady by the door who looks from the camera white as well, who then proceeded to ask the question again of, now that the crazy one's gone, let's ask again, what is that Juneteenth about? And then this guy says, it's about reparations. Bitch, I wish it was about reparations. I wish we did yearly have a council get together to find out who hasn't gotten fucking reparations. That would be great. That's not where we are as a country. Oh my God, the level of stupidity in people that are racist is genuinely astonishing. So with that lady asking the question, it was basically the whole room. I think there was one Hispanic older lady in the corner who was just like, no. Just did not engage. And I understand it because ICE is after them right now. And if she'd have said something, who the fuck knows? They might have just fucking called immigration to have her arrested, even though she's probably a U.S. citizen or has her papers at the bare minimum. And basically everyone else in the room, excluding the black queen and the possibly Hispanic queen, no, went full racism. I don't, it's 2025. And yeah, racism is, we're not far from the civil rights era, right? But I don't know if this is a Wilson thing, because again, Wilson is very, very country. What are we doing? What are we doing? And y'all knew y'all was wrong because y'all all got silent the moment she called it out. And it's hilarious because every time someone black or Hispanic or Asian, just any minority in general, calls out racism from white Americans, generally the response is to get silent. They get extremely fucking fearful, especially with blacks and Hispanics, because we're like the muscle races, right? We're the workhorse races. So when we buck up, there's this like, I don't know, DNA trigger in white races that says, oh God, the slaves are revolting. What do I do? Like, I don't know what it is that makes y'all so fucking quiet when just a second ago you was saying it with your whole ass chest, right? I don't get it. And I think part of that is also you guys don't speak up unless everyone else in the room shows commitment to go full KKK with you. Otherwise, you're just going silent. This is why they like have these rallies and get police protection, then they go off. But you almost rarely ever see someone go full-on Nazi in the wild, right? You don't really see people going full-on Klansman unless you're in an area where it's like a sundown town or they're at home.
Hold up. What the fuck is this? Oh, I got something for y'all. I might have to put down the horses too, bro. They might be racist too. My sweet fellows. You may think that you are on the right side of history, but I'm telling you right now, my friend, not only are you not, but you're also in a million fucking different pieces. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, this is from my boy Lenny. It's like it was meant to be, just you and me. Now, listen. Maybe you weren't raised right. Maybe it's mommy and daddy's fault. That's not really up for me to decide or distinguish against, okay? I gotta do what I gotta do. You've made your choices in life, and I'm about to make mine. Oh my! Oh, you're dead! Fuck you! Yeah!
They don't do it at work. There's a lot of people who unknowingly work right next to someone who, as soon as they clock out and go home, that person is sitting on the computer saying these protests with these usual suspects. It happens a lot more than people know, just because usually people don't go mask off like these people did. And you might say, well, they didn't call her the N-word.
Stop. Seriously. Stop.
They went mask off. It's just at the moment she wasn't the topic. The topic was this random holiday they didn't understand in their minds. And many people have been cooking them in the comment section of wherever one can find this video. I, of course, found it on Instagram. I'm not going to show people's profile pictures just because people on the internet are psychos. But these are some of their comments. It's so ironic that Star Wars is playing in the background. They get it when it's a fictional universe with white characters, which nerds, go ahead and sit down because you're entering an arena you're going to lose the conversation on. Star Wars has very, very racist connotations and examinations with it as a concept. If you're a true fan, you already know that. I'm not sure if I was able to play it in this video because I'm recording it. I don't know if YouTube is gonna, take it down. But there is Star Wars audio playing at the beginning. I'm assuming I'll be able to keep that in the video. I'm not sure. But basically, I don't even think they watch Star Wars. They just had on some random channel. Okay, because clearly these are when someone describes a hick, this is what I think of, was the people who made those comments. I'm just gonna be real. Why are people so bothered by slaves being freed? It's cause it's us, man. I get what you're saying, but also it's just cause it's us. It's cause we black, and historically, not so long ago, many of them could just shoot you in the street, and the trouble they would get in would not be because they killed a human being, but because they damaged and destroyed someone else's property.
And I can choose to do with my property whatever I so desire.
One thing I know, our money is green and can be spent anywhere. Very, very poignant comment, simply because there's a reason why every Black Wall Street eventually became the site of some outright racist atrocity. Became the site of a mini genocide. There's a reason why they did that. It's because when we invest in our own community, it makes us a very powerful monolith that they have to recognize has power and force. And while some people today in the black community eventually exploit that monolithic idea and that community support, it's still something we should invest in as black people. If you look at Hispanic people, they do it extremely well. If you look at Asian people, they do it extremely well. Black people is something we kind of struggle with, and I think part of that is also because there is this sense of targeting, right? After all, we are the initial subclass of people of this country.
This guy gets it. I like him. He's getting angry. Angry is good. Angry gets shit done.
As fucked up as it sounds, it's just inherent in the system. So a lot of times we are almost always the first to get slighted. So it is a good idea to invest in your own community. We should be copying everything we see the Hispanics and the Asians do to such a ridiculously massive degree. We just should. So they didn't learn from Target, sheesh, which, yeah, I mean, Target, the only reason Target's still around and hasn't, completely collapsed from the blackout is because, look, suburban white women gonna do what suburban white women do, okay? They're gonna keep a business open. It's an addiction for them. But also just the size of Target is so much more massive than this Synergy Auto Care. Them doing this and how this came out, it might end them. It might close this business down. Regardless of the tariffs and all this other shit that they were probably facing before economically, this might end them as a company. I don't even know if that's the only location. I think it is. Like, it's not like Precision Tune Auto Care or some shit like that. It's playing off of that, but it's not them. It's about reparations or something. You don't want nobody with that low of an IQ working on your auto, no way. Good for my sister, which fucking, I agree perfectly, 100%. Like, unless it's a Ford or a fucking Chevy, them motherfuckers probably don't even know how to work on it properly anyway. So you saved yourself a dime or two. There are silver linings in every situation, my queen. You found it. You unfortunately found it, but you found it. The comments, what they said in the video, and just the entire vibe outside the graceful and powerful black queen are just generally all fucked. But what really baffles me in this whole thing is the idea of the company, not the black woman, not the camera company Replink, who maybe through a back door had someone watching the system and that person was just like, I fucking hate working here. I'm waiting to find something viral that I could post on the internet and make money off of or whatever. But Synergy Auto Care themselves, in an attempt to smear this woman, released that footage themselves, as if somehow everyone was going to watch it and slide back to the prime era of the KKK with them.
That is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Let me handle this. That idea is just the worst.
Who's the business manager? Do they have a degree from a business school? Because if they do, that business school, I don't care if it's fucking in Ole Miss in the middle of fucking Mississippi, that business school needs to immediately call them and say, look, motherfucker, we gonna need our degree back. How do you watch that video? I get it. You're racist. You're, whatever. You're ignorant as fuck. How do you watch that video and say to yourself, you know what's gonna bring in appointments? You know what's gonna have people driving from Timbuktu to bumfuck Egypt here in Wilson to get their car worked on? Us releasing a video of us being racist. What? Racist white people in this country, let me address you real quick. Racist black people, racist Hispanics, racist Asians, and racist Africans. Sit down, chill out. I'll get to you later at some point. Probably in a whole nother video. I've already gotten to technically a racist African-American because Dr. Umar, that's just a fucking racist cunt. I digress. Each race has very racist people. It's not exclusive. But once you give someone freedom, they expect a certain level of respect because freedom comes with the natural inclination of respect. Failure to give it will only result in one thing: you standing in the room alone or someone laying hands. Me, I'm in the latter crowd. Luckily for you all, the black person you dealt with was in the former. But I can assure you she was teetering very much on the edge. Very much. But if I'd have been there, it would have been a mass casualty event.
I'm gonna make you my girlfriend.
That's all I'm gonna say. And it's not even the fact that they were racist. It's the factor of they were racist in the very sphere of someone they were being racist against, and were completely ignorant and shocked until she called it out that they were being racist. Normally a racist person is going to unknowingly walk into it directly at you. They weren't talking directly at her. They were just talking about the concept of the holiday. I feel like maybe people are getting what I'm trying to say. Most people aren't like this, but it just, I have very little fucks to give when it's done in such a fucking bafflingly stupid way. At least if you try and you make it about me, then I can give you some fucking, not respect, but I can at least be like, well damn, at least you stood on fucking principle. But this was just, she was right there. She was like, Synergy Auto Care will either close or will limp along with only the few unafraid to be openly supportive of racism as customers.
They do exist.
Cause to post this thinking you were in the right is where the confirmation comes of this just being unjustifiably outright full-on ignorant racism, which racism is hard to justify anyways, but I can understand someone coming from a place of no interaction with someone of the opposite of another race than people who are in Wilson, which most definitely has minorities living in it. I have met plenty of black and Hispanic people from Wilson, so these people had an excuse. So will they even get a chance to see another Juneteenth? I don't know, probably fucking not. You know, I've seen some TikToks where they didn't have but one car on a day that's normally slam packed for them, according to, you know, Google Trends and all that whatnot. Which is gonna be ironic because unemployment in this state is dog shit before Trump, and now it's heading even worse with Trump. Y'all are all adults. Trump may got y'all feeling froggy, but bitch, don't go jumping in front of me. But seriously, who would release this video?